Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Gurley. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll try the air now with Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
Super 66.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just a call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming in.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he checks this one down to Williams. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Wilson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. The kick by Carlson is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And the Rams getting set to go now. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Goff. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Gone. Airing it out deep for Woods. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now it's gone. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jaron Reed in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the 1st quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 20 carries, 91 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Now Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Finding room inside the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Okay, let's face it. Most of the offensive linemen in today's NFL, they're going to weigh over 300 pounds, but that doesn't mean they don't have agility. And the way that they can get out in front of a runner and create a space, sometimes it looks like they're going in one direction, and the runner uses his eyes to take him in another direction because it's been blocked so well. They love those misdirection or counter plays, and this one worked really well for a nice piece of yardage.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Penny. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points off.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Out of the gun. Goff. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
3rd and long. It's gone. He's letting it fly for Cooks. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it.
Oh, the Seahawks come after it, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
And that's truly the way to change field position, isn't it? Block the punt and then take over inside the 5-yard line. What a tremendous job by them. You change momentum, you change field position, and give yourself a chance to score.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
14. Starting left here. Hard ball.
Now Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. And even 50 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
12.
A shotgun snap for Goff. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 17 yards to pick up there.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Super 66. Two.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And how about this? It's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee. his third touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 13-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And that's incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, let him give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Holding offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
On third down, Penny. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Carlson able to put this one through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10, Goff again. And Cooks has it over the middle. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. 2 for 66.
Goff on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now. 2nd and goal. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll kick things off with an NFC matchup from down in the desert. Detroit in town to take on Arizona. And it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. The Lions looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we get up to the Rocky Mountains to check on the Broncos at home in Denver. And at the half, they are down to the visiting New York Giants. Saquon Barkley, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it. But you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball. The guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
On first down, gone. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to have a third down.
Running lanes ran a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
12. Whirling. Super.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game.
Super 66. Value 3.
Back to throw. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now it's Wilson. He shakes him off, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Aaron Donald able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Here's Wilson. And picked off by Mark Barron. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Super one. Right there. Hey, let's go. Go, ground.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Shell, shell, shell. Check, 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 check. Shell, shell, shell.
From his goal line here, Goff flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move, but couldn't free much space. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Wilson. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
To throw on third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. This one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shot.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
A handoff to Penny, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Throw left side complete. That's Reynolds. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Wide open receiver complete. A couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Throwing again is gone. Open man right side is caught complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A Ram first down as Goff finds Kupp. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Here's Goff. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Good move by... And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams have got this back to a one-score game.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
No problem there on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. To throw is Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, They just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. On second down, here's Wilson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
He's going to float this one deep. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The throw on second down is gone. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Shell, shell, shell.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Goff now to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Well, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They go play action now. Wilson. Open man is Uzama. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Then he checks this one down to Williams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Here's a give to Penny. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Time for a break. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment. Defense.
Defensively, maybe a little too fired up there for a 3rd down stop.
Remember in preseason when we were going to camps and watching people, they worked on this, right? In the heat of the summer, still did it anyway.
Now Rashad Penny looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Wilson to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shell. 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 5. Hard ball. Go. Hey, 5.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. Desperation time for Goff on fourth. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up.
Under pressure, they got him again. Frank Clark in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out.
And he's going to go down again. Frank Clark in there to drop him. And his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Third and long. It's gone. Buying time to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.